Warning, the show you're about to watch contains profanity. Possible news stories including nudity, offensive behavior, etc., etc. Basically just saying this show is awesome, and we have to warn you about it. Our opinions don't reflect any of the people's at the studio or the broadcast channel that you're watching currently.
We gotta do a warning now?
Yep.
That's bullshit.
Hey, what's going on? I don't know where my co-anchor Brad Crandall went. Oh, hello, Brad.
Hey, how you guys doing?
That was one heck of a trick you pulled there.
Hey, I'm good.
All right, so I'm Art Crandall.
I'm
It's
Brad
my brother
Crandall.
Brad Crandall.
How you doing?
This must mean it's EarthNews. Shall we get to the point, or should we talk about my new book that I've been following for quite some time? You know what I'm saying? Hold on, here we go. Oh, Essential Arms.
Let
Okay.
me see that book real quick.
Yeah. Let me see. Should we get a shot at you? Oh, wait a second. There it is. Oh,
Essential Arms.
beautiful.
Good read.
All right, so we're at lucky number 13 for our episodes.
Wow.
Lucky number 13, and before... That is a great shirt, Brad. That is
Yeah, you like this?
in every position.
It's true.
All right, and this one I had to run a little bit of a marathon for.
Oh, yeah, that
26 bars, you know.
26 beers.
26 bars. Oof. Watch
Beer
out.
marathon, right?
That's a beer marathon, yep. The non-exercising marathon. But, anyway, I digress because we also have the event of the century coming up. It's an annual event, and
Is it the Red Sox World Series?
it might be the Red Sox World Series, but no, it's not. I am talking about Hammerschlag in 2013.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we hosted it last year, starring Daniel Woodchuck, and I believe that we have a photo. If we could go to Daniel Woodchuck, that's me. That's me. No. That's Daniel Woodchuck right there. He is the host of Hammerschlag in 2013. So we'll be having that. That's an online exclusive. So check out Fine Funny Productions on YouTube channel and scope that out. Should be online next week. And there's plenty of other skits on there as well.
It's a good time.
That's a good time.
Check it out.
So we have a mother that was charged with assaulting her daughter at her wedding in Sudbury. Okay? Sudbury, Connecticut. This woman, a 55-year-old Connecticut woman, was released on personal... it's recognizance. Recognizance. Thank you. I was going to skip over that forever. After being charged with assaulting her daughter at her wedding in Sudbury. So, Leslie Duane of West Haven was arraigned Wednesday in Framingham District Court on a charge of assault and battery, said Middlesex District Attorney spokeswoman Stephanie Guyette. Duane's due back in court December 6th for a pretrial hearing, and she was arrested Sunday during the daughter's wedding at the Arabian Horse Inn in Sudbury. She'd been drinking, she hit her daughter, and then she was finally reached at her Connecticut home.
And this was all on the daughter's wedding day?
This was actually her wedding, the mother's wedding.
Oh, really?
She assaulted her daughter at her own wedding. She was drinking and... Bridezilla, yes.
Tearing down the house.
And, you know, say no to the dress or something like
man.
that. Whatever she was doing. 4 weddings or something, whatever it's called. 4 weddings. Yeah, no. Absolutely not.
Well, speaking about crazy broads, there's a New Hampshire woman has been sentenced to 9 to 30 years in state prison after pleading guilty to subjecting her 18-year-old son to beatings and other physical abuse. Christine Galinia, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but of Concord, reached an agreement with prosecutors, pleading guilty Thursday to first-degree assault and witness tampering. The Concord Monitor reports Assistant County Prosecutor George Waldron said the teenager suffered permanent nerve damage in his penis when the 53-year-old burned it with a lighter in April.
Oh my goodness.
This woman is also accused of burning her son's nipples completely off, stabbing him with a pen, and forcing him to eat worms. He was also told that if he did not eat some worms that were provided to him, that they were going to burn his penis. He did, in fact, eat the worms, and it seems like it still happened. Jeez. Prosecutor Tracy Connolly said an acquaintance of this lady, 20-year-old Daniel Tyler Cantrell, faces trial next month on multiple charges associated with the abuse. Cantrell is accused of twisting the 18-year-old's ankle before it broke and also forcing him to eat feces.
Yeah, I was going to say, looking up this story myself.
Oh, you saw that one?
I was, my gosh, this one was just, oh my God.
What a looker that girl is, too.
Oof, this woman looks like she's seen, I don't know, she's seen hell and come back. Like, that's the look on this woman. And I don't even want to know what the son looks like after all this torture.
Jeez.
Because, was there a book when we were growing up, How to Eat Fried Worms or something? This was true. This kid was made forcibly to eat worms, and
I wonder if the 18-year-old son just couldn't stand up to the punishment. Or?
I don't know. Maybe it was just he was always afraid of the mother. But this, like, speaking of people that don't deserve to have kids, this woman is a perfect example. Like, no, just no.
Oh my gosh.
So, speaking of torture, Brooklyn rabbi tortured Jewish husbands with a cattle prod to force divorce. So desperate wives paid Rabbi Mendel Epstein up to $100,000 to convince their husbands to divorce them. This guy right here, Rabbi Mendel Epstein of Brooklyn, appeared in a documentary, which this is the photo right over here in the documentary, if I could get my hand straight, titled Women Unchained, and it was about Jewish women having difficulty divorcing from their philandering husbands. So two rabbis plotted to kidnap Jewish husbands, torture them with electric cattle prods, and force them to grant their desperate wives religious divorces, the feds charged. Rabbi Mendel Epstein, who is 68, of Brooklyn, and Rabbi Martin Walmark, 55, of Monsey, Rockland County, were among 10 people arrested. There were 10 people in this arrested. Wow. In it's the scheme with it ran all the way to the rabbinical. Thank you, Mike, by the way. Rabbinical court. As you can tell, I'm not Jewish. I don't know how to pronounce this word. So he's accused of running an unholy crew that charged women trapped in marital limbo $70,000 to $100,000 to basically strong-arm their stubborn husbands into granting a Jewish divorce known as a get. So
that guy must be jacked.
It's this guy. No, I mean, do you see his picture? He's just a old, 16-year-old.
He could have had those arms,
and that's the thing is you got to get on those essential arms,
right? You ain't kidding. That's great.
I mean, thank goodness we have our director back there, Mike.
I know,
helping me out with the word pronunciations.
Yeah, I know. We won't
forget it.
Did you hear about a Florida man has been accused of dousing a woman with a bucket of urine and feces, then tried to throw another pail of solid and liquid waste on a police officer. He was arrested. The Fort Pierce flap featured flung feces unfolded around 3 a.m. in the 1400 block of North 16th Street. A 35-year-old woman told police she went outside to look for her B-E-A-U? I don't know. What's that?
Her bow.
Her beau. Thank you, Mike. And encountered Monix Alsaint, 68, leaning on a pickup truck. She said Alsaint picked up an empty beer bottle and hit her in the back. She said he threw a second bottle but missed. She called 911 and arrived with police at this guy's listed apartment. The guy opened the door. Monix opened the door and leaned over to grab a bucket with yellow fluid in it, and the fluid was later determined to be urine. A report states Monix picked up the bucket with both hands. Not even one hand. No, through the
he
urine
didn't even
mixed,
one hand the urine. He's not going
the
like
urine mixed
Jordan.
with feces at the woman, covering her upper body. And then the guy, Alsaint, went to hoist another bucket of feces and urine and throw it at an officer who jumped out of the way and restrained him. The report didn't state why he kept these stashes of urine and poop in buckets in his apartment. It also didn't state whether the waste was animal or human, but I'm pretty sure it was probably human.
It's probably his.
Most dispose of excrements by flushing.
Not this
but
guy.
some are said to employ feces in making hallucinogenic drugs.
You know, it's
you
very
believe that?
interesting. I don't know where or why I came across this in my travels online and information, but I found out that Martin Luther used to eat his own excrement.
Nah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not Martin Luther King Jr., just Martin Luther.
Oh, wow.
And
you know what?
that was just wild.
That
I was
wild.
like, okay.
Did you know that? I think that's probably the worst thing that anyone could throw at you.
I mean, yeah, what are you supposed to... No!
Like, I would...
Matrix? Like, you know?
Like, that should be the death penalty.
Who just keeps... Like, remember we did that story, like, about 10 episodes ago, where this guy kept drums of his own urine in the basement of an abandoned house. When they finally searched the house, they found milk jugs full of his own urine.
Really?
It was, yeah, New Hampshire, I believe.
Wow.
But it's just like, why? You know?
For hallucinating.
I guess
know.
for hallucinations, but that's
Can't-
just crap, Brad.
Yeah.
That's just crap.
Load of... bucket load of crap.
That's a load of crap right there.
Wow. Did you hear about the man that drank 3 bottles of vodka and jumped out of a 5-story window twice and lived both times?
Was that like each time he was?
Yeah, so the problem was that his apartment was on the 5th floor. To his wife's horror, Alexei jumped out of the window, but amazingly survived almost unharmed. He got up from this terrible fall and went back to his wife, who understandably was hysterical, while she was screaming at him and shouting about calling an ambulance. The drunken Superman decided he couldn't take it anymore and jumped out the same window again.
Yeah.
And to everyone's amazement, once more he was almost unharmed and suffered only a few scratches. The explanation which doctors have given for this bizarre cause is that alcohol causes numbing of the central nervous system, and which allows the muscles to relax even when experiencing such a fall. But
it's crazy.
We wouldn't try that. So
yeah, we
don't
wouldn't
try that at home.
In my experiences, I have been in a car accident, and I was unharmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was maybe a little under the influence. We won't get into that. Not driving the car, of course, but was a passenger, and lo and behold, besides my arm being slightly bruised, that was it. I was fine.
Did you drink 3 bottles of vodka?
I did not drink 3 bottles of vodka, and I did not
Surprised
jump
that
out.
didn't. I'm surprised that didn't
apart.
kill.
Just
Yeah,
drinking
you drink 3 bottles of vodka.
Well, I mean, are we
Don't
talking?
do that.
Are they the pints?
Yeah,
or
they're,
the half pints?
they're probably
or-
little. Yeah, you're right.
They got to be at
There's
least.
no way that was.
I don't know.
Lead
I mean,
it.
I've seen people drink a lot and been fine, but they say this was in Russia, right? Or where was it?
Oh, I just erased it.
Oh no,
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. 3 bottles of vodka should probably kill you. So, do not drink 3 bottles of vodka and jump out a 5-story window, basically.
Right? Oh man. And check this out. This is actually a pretty funny story right here. There's this guy, Toby Sheldon, a 33-year-old Justin Bieber fanatic.
Oh god.
And he devoted $100,000 and 5 years worth of plastic surgery to make himself look like Justin Bieber.
Ugh.
And he looks.
Do we have a picture of him?
Yeah, we do.
There's.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unreal, right?
That's like that guy who tried to make himself look like a tiger by getting a bunch of plastic surgery.
I know, and he filed his teeth. The tiger guy.
Like, what was wrong with that?
But are you kidding me?
Like,
you like Justin Bieber that much?
Guys,
that you try to look like him and you end up looking worse.
Apparently, he didn't like who he was.
Right?
You know, what is? I want to look like Justin Bieber.
I wonder what.
It's cool. Halloween's right around the corner. Go as Justin Bieber.
I wonder what he thinks of I wonder what the Biebs thinks of all these crazy fans that are obsessed with him.
He's probably loving every bit of it. I would love it.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, right. So, are you hungover? If you are watching this program, it's probably a bad thing because it's only aired at night. But if you are hungover,
you're probably drunk.
You might be drunk. But new research suggests that you might want to reach for a can of Sprite. A study published in the September 2013 issue of Food and Function showed that chemicals in the non-caffeinated beverage can halt that awful next day feeling. While drinking too much alcohol could certainly lead to a hangover, the booze itself isn't the culprit, it's how it's broken down. The authors point out that when the liver processes alcohol, also known as ethanol, it creates several chemical byproducts. One is called excuse me, hold on. Mike, you want to help me out? Acetaldehyde, whatever. I know I'm going to be. Alright, thanks, buddy. Anyway, it produces a couple of byproducts, and the researchers focused on how to stop the byproducts from lingering in the body for too long. They believed that if they manipulated alcohol, and the enzyme that turns ethanol into the byproducts. You know what? I think I'm just going to dub myself pronouncing it right later. And if not, then I apologize for pronouncing that wrong. So they manipulated the byproduct, and they could shorten the time that it took for the byproducts to turn into acetate, essentially cutting the time the person was hungover. Sprite and soda water were shown to speed up ALDH activity, which is how I'm going to refer to that byproduct from now on, which would theoretically curb the hangover. So reach for a can of soda water or reach for a Sprite for your hangover.
Wow, there you have it.
There you go.
So, this one goes out to Rick, who I know is drinking tonight.
Right. Reach for that can of Sprite afterwards.
After.
So let's talk about a Texas brewery that's in hot water for their original Dumb Blonde beer that goes down easy. I think we have a picture of the can right over there. In Texas, an American brewery, that's the Dumb Blonde beer. It's been criticized for selling a beer called Dumb Blonde, which they claim goes down easy. The Texas-based Deep Ellum Brewing, which has a ton of good beers, actually, has been condemned for relying on rape culture to sell the product. I think that's a little bit extreme, calling it rape culture, but which uses a picture of a doll wearing a blonde wig on the can. The company has also been using the controversial logo and catchphrase on a pink van as part of the marketing campaign to celebrate a year since the drink was first released. I'm sorry. I would love a nice blonde ale that went down, or a blonde beer that went down easy. A dumb blonde beer. It's, you're going to be doing, Flying Dog or, Dogfish or any of those, and if I saw a beer on the shelf that was Dumb Blonde beer,
and the slogan was
goes down easy, I'd pick up a case. Mm-hmm. Why not?
Right, but what if the slogan was you'll forget everything you learned?
I might pick up a case.
That would go.
I might pick up two cases.
What'd they call it? Rape something?
It was called rape culture, basically.
Really? That's crazy. Because check this out. I have a good story of Watch. A guy named John Raper arrested on child rape charges. That is just not.
The guy's name is John Raper.
Yeah. I mean, it's not funny that he got arrested on. I mean, no, it's good he got arrested for that, but it's bad that he raped.
Well, maybe it's like rapport, spelled rapport. Maybe it was rapper. It was John Rapper, who just happened to be a raper.
Right? That's insane.
Or maybe it is John Raper.
Yeah.
To be a raper.
You're giving him too much credit.
I'm giving him too much credit. Yeah. I'm sorry. Don't be a raper.
Yeah. Don't rape people.
John, don't be a raper.
Oh, did you hear about the 63-year-old woman that drinks a pint of her own urine 3 times a day to help keep her strong?
It helps keep me strong.
What length would you go to achieve good health? Would you drink your own wee? A woman claims drinking a pint of her own urine every day for the last 20 years has kept her fit and sprightly. Mike? Spryly. Yeah. That's disgusting.
That's
Sylvia Chandler, 63, swears in Closer that her own wee is the miracle elixir responsible for her slim frame and youthful demeanor. She also uses it in her hair and moisturizes her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
That's
I mean, technically, it's waste leaving your body. I've heard there's ancient medical elixirs that contain urine of human, but to claim, is this woman married?
She must smell terrible.
I love life. I drink pee 3 times a day, and I haven't been married for 20 years, and I can't figure out why.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so slim. No guy wants to date
Everybody
me.
wants me, but I'm not dating anybody because once I tell them my secret,
No, they'd just be like, "Are you drinking pee?"
Is that pee?
Yeah, ew.
I mean, you know what? Here's a tip. Get a guy who doesn't drink lemonade and tell him that it's lemonade. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's it. That's gross.
What are you doing?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Get out of my bed.
But did you hear?
Oh yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, but I saw this great meme on Facebook. It was about Bear Grylls, and it said, "Youngest ever Chief Scout in the SAS for 3 years. Survived a 16,000-foot fall breaking his back, then climbing Everest 18 months later, also making him the youngest Brit to reach the summit, holds several world records, and he's best known for drinking his own piss."
That's true, because the episode where he did that, and he took what was his name?
Camel.
Yeah, that was just ridiculous, though. So let's talk about the Pats-Jets game. We don't like dating ourselves with the shows because at any single point in time, you never know when you're going to catch it or whether it's old or new to you. But this one's a special circumstance. This guy who punched... speaking of which, we're at Jet Stadium. Hey, what's going on?
I don't feel safe here.
I don't feel safe either. Me being a Patriots fan and all. So
the girl got hit in the face.
Yes, the Jets lout who punched a female Patriots fan in a video that went viral after Sunday's game. It turned out he is a Long Island bartender who once spent time behind bars for fatally knifing a teenager. Kurt Pasks, 38 now, was convinced of criminally negligent homicide and sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison for killing.
Convicted.
Oh, he was convicted of a criminally negligent homicide. And then he was sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison for killing Henry Ferrer, 17, of Bayshore during a fight outside a Sayville pizzeria in 1992. Pask, who was 17 at the time, was originally charged with murder, but ultimately convicted of a lesser charge. In a bizarre twist, he became best friends with Marty Tankleff behind bars, according to a tome on Tankleff's own infamous crime. Tankleff was convicted in the brutal 1988 killing of his wealthy parents, and then was freed after his sentence was overturned in 2008. I am deeply sorry, Pash said at the time of his own sentence in 95. I can honestly say I never sought the confrontation, but when it came, I did what I had to do. The excuse for it is very similar to the defense that he put forward by his family, or he put forward and his family put forward nearly 20 years later regarding the punch-out of the woman at MetLife Stadium.
She deserved it.
He didn't deliberately hit the girl. He was simply being defensive. And the mother, 62, said her son, who was a diehard Jets fan, obviously, took her to the game as a special treat because of Breast Awareness Month, and she was a breast awareness survivor. So she's trying to play to the crowd that her son's all awesome and stuff, but
he's not that bad of a guy.
Yeah, he's not that bad of a guy, but the fact is that he knocked out. Well, he didn't knock out, but he definitely slugged the girl.
Oh, man.
What was she doing trying to get up in his face, though, too? You know?
Right.
I don't understand.
Crazy. But how about that push call that they made that lost the Patriots the game? And then it shows during the field goal that the Patriots tied the game with, it showed the Jets doing the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
So,
ridiculous.
Crazy.
But we're out of time here. So I'm Art Crandall, and Brad can't believe it.
We're out of time.
We're out of time. I guess we'll have to save the essential arms, the new workout.
The weather's nice.
Yeah. We won't do the weather this week. It's just nice outside. But
might be raining.
Oh, good. Hopefully it's not Mike
got a
from
phone
Dover.
call.
Okay.
They're patiently waiting.
All right. Now, you know what? We'll have to catch that later. But that did sound important. But we'll have to keep the important news till next week. I'm Art Crandall.
I'm Brad Crandall.
This has been Earth News.
Thanks. Wow, I think that was a good episode.
That was a good episode. Yeah. This is Earth News.
And thanks for watching. Oh, yeah. It's been real. See you next time.
That's too long. Hey.